Okay guys, so this is my new project. It's a 1980 280ZX. Needs a little bit of work, but we'll get to that. First I'll do a quick walk around. The people that I bought it from honestly are questionable at best, but as for the car, it is what it is, and it's I've got the pink slip with it, and all the VIN numbers match up, which is great, to be honest. Needs a few things. Needs some touch-up work with the paint, but the whole car, the paint's kind of oxidizing. That's fairly common with these Z cars. Also, it needs a new lens here, new bulb. That'll be at the bottom of the list for sure. Tires are still decent. They do have a good amount of wear on them, but it's nothing we can't work with at this point in time. A little bit of rust in the typical areas, but a lot of it's just surface rust, or at least most of it. And I believe that I can manage to sand that off and reprimer it, just to make sure it doesn't get any worse. There's also a little bit of exfoliation up here from rust. You can see kind of down here what I'm talking about. It's got a power antenna, but to my knowledge it doesn't work. But it comes up and, well, it stays up half mast just fine. But that'll need fixing at some point. The rear struts that go into the hatch, they're shot. That'll need to be addressed. Those aren't very expensive. Not a very hard job to do either. Back of the car comes with the original floor mats, which are all ripped up and kind of tatty. I might just end up throwing these out. The interior is kind of ripped up, and that can be dealt with. It's got a spare tire in it as well. Interesting thing about these is from the factory they come flat, and then if you get a flat tire you're supposed to pump it up with a CO2 cartridge. That is one thing I didn't know, but I did find it interesting nonetheless. All the lights work. That's what it looks like from the rear end. This door panel's in pretty good shape. That door panel's pretty tore up. Dash is cracked. Cluster and all the gauges work fine. No radio. That's another thing that's the least of my concern. The center console here is messed up. They tried to RTV it down so they can still lift it up like that. That obviously didn't work out too well. It's going to need a whole new carpet kit, but I'm probably going to wait a little bit on that, so it's not really all that important. Glove box. It's okay sized, not the biggest, definitely not as big as the Focus, but it gets the job done. Let me go ahead and get to the front, into the driver's side, then I'll show off the engine and how it sounds. All the locks work. Power windows, surprisingly, they work. Probably not as fast as they should, but they go up and down, which is great, to be honest. Go ahead and get my keys out. It does have cruise control, but the owner told me that it basically needs to be rehooked up, so that'll need to be sorted out at some point. The gearbox is great. All the gears go in just fine. Reverse works good. The input shaft bearing is making noise, but I think that's something I'm going to end up having a shop do, and I might just get the transmission rebuilt at the same time, even though it's still okay. But I'm guessing it's got it's got bad fluid in it. Here's a look around of the cluster here. Speedometer, tach, water temperature, fuel gauge, and if you look down here, as soon as you get under 1/4 of a tank, it tells you how much fuel you have left. I thought that was really cool. Right here you got your rear window wiper, and if you probably just heard that, that's because the shocks and struts are bad, so I'm going to need to fix that. Rear defroster. The rear wiper doesn't work. I think it's because of a fuse. that'll need to be sorted out. One thing that I really like about this is it's got these center gauges here. You have your clock, you have your voltmeter, and your oil pressure gauge. All three work great. The clock's not as bright as it probably should be, but that's okay. It does have AC, and it is R12. AC is not currently working, but I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to put into getting that alone to work. But my main thing was, when I bought this car, is mechanically, I want it to be good, or at least, you know, decent. And that it is. I did an oil blow-by check, which involves you pulling the oil cap off while it's running and checking to see if there's any puffs of smoke or air that's going through the cap, and there's absolutely nothing. Driving this car shifts, it shifts great, it drives great, it feels like all the power's there. The engine's fairly dirty, but the good thing is it's what I would call an honest engine. They didn't even warm it up for me when I first came out to see it, which was good. A lot of these cars, these old Z cars, tend to have cold starting issues. And you'll see that when I start it up, it kind of idles rough. But before I do that, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what it needs as far as the motor goes. It needs a timing adjustment. It probably needs a valve lash adjustment. If you can see down there, it's leaking quite a bit of oil. Not as much as I initially thought it would be, but I believe the bottom pan gasket, the oil pan gasket's bad. That's the only thing that would make sense for it leaking that much oil. I don't think it's a cracked block, because I would really notice that when I was driving it. Could be a smaller crack, but who knows. Everything else seems to be in complete shape. Let's just put it that way. Some of this stuff does need addressing. If you can see up here, that's oil or residue or something. To be honest, it's probably from the power steering pump over here. The power steering pump is making a whining type noise, so either the bearing in it's bad, or it just needs to be replaced. I'm probably just going to do that no matter what. What else can I talk about here? All the fluids seem to be good. They are running water through the radiator. At least that's what's in the reservoir, so I'm going to need to address that. But for the good side is the water pump seems to be almost brand new. And the way I can tell that is it's still pretty shiny. You guys can't really see it, but the blue gasket sealant that seals it to the block, it's just fine. It looks like it was done within the past year. Maybe a little over the past year. Battery's just fine, needs terminals, but it starts up okay. I bought a new fuel filter for it today, so I'm going to replace that, as well as a PCV. Going to get that replaced too. Let's go ahead and start it up and let it run. Put on clutch, and I'll show you guys what the other problem it has. I'll go ahead and scoot myself up here. It's got an idle issue, probably related to vacuum lines. Or it just needs, or the throttle cable just needs to be adjusted. But as you can see, it idles at 500 RPM, and it almost wants to die. But getting it up to 1,000 with my foot, sounds like it needs a tune-up, new spark plugs. Not a big deal. All the power's there too. You can feel how much torque that this little motor has. But as I was saying, I put a couple gallons into it when I brought it back over here. So that's how much it brought it up. I'm gonna check out the fuel tank and everything too, just to be on the safe side. Wipers do work. That's cool. As I said, cruise control needs to work or get fixed up. But the main issues that need to be fixed is the idling. It's also running rich. I don't think I turned it off all the way. That's the other thing that's kind of annoying too is, there we go. And it probably just needs a new ignition point right there, but that's the car. I also forgot to mention it has T-tops. And I pulled this one off over here, and the seal in it's just fine. It's like it's almost never been used, almost never been pulled off. I'll go ahead and pull this one off. In order to do that, you just open it up, open the lock, and pull it out. And then the T-top just comes right off. Seals are kind of dirty, but they're not cracked, they're not fouled up. Nothing's really wrong with them. They're just really dirty. So I'll have to do a leak check just to be sure that the sealant or the seal is making good contact and it's not going to leak at all. But I think it'll be great for a good project. Some of you guys probably think I'm nuts for taking on projects like these and fixing them up and stuff, but you know, I've always wanted one of these cars. It's always been my dream car, one of them, and I can't wait till I start working on it and getting it running, getting it back on the road. I love doing stuff like this, guys. I love turning wrenches. I love fixing things up. So some of you might not have much of an interest in this, but a lot of my future videos are going to be featuring this 280Z and its restoration. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You all stay classy.